What happened?
Turn a little bit.
Like this?
Yeah.
Okay, well I have to get.
You can't stay still the whole pod though.
No, yeah, that's why. Okay, it's fine. It's all good.
That's very unrealistic.
All right, it's all good. All right, let's mute it up.
Are we ready?
Welcome to Pocket Watch Podcast. I'm Zach.
Cruz.
Jake.
No guest.
Nah.
I know y'all haven't heard a guest from us in a minute, but it's just
Haven't not heard a guest.
Is that what? Yeah.
You said you haven't heard a guest. I know you guys have been listening to guests from
yeah,
us.
Exactly. What Cruz said, but yeah. So I know we've been having a lot of guests. So no guests today. We're back to the OJ crew.
OJ crew.
The OG crew today. So yeah, but once
This
again,
shit feels good. I'm not gonna lie. I love having guests. It's a whole vibe, and when people come through, it's definitely a vibe. But like, I'm not gonna lie. Today, like leading up to the pod, I was like, ooh, like we get it's back to our episodes. You know what I mean? I like it.
it's funny that you think like that, but I'm also kind of like, dang man, I kind of like having the guests, which is so funny because if you guys don't know, Cruz is always the one that's pushing for guests,
Yeah.
and I'm the one that's always like, well, let's just get more episodes of us. But now it's like flip flop, so it's just funny to see that.
I like guests, but it's fun. It's good to have every
Every now and then.
Guess we got something coming next week. We already got another guest coming next
Yeah,
week.
y'all stay tuned for that. Hopefully everything works out good with that.
Yeah, that's true. Shut up.
You shot it out.
I already put it out there. It's all right. I'll put my dad on here.
There we go.
That's messed up. That's messed up. But we do want to thank you guys for listening to us back to back. We guys
Thank you
appreciate the
so
constant
much.
support. Facts. We appreciate all the love you guys have been giving us lately. And if you guys are new listeners from somebody that came from one of our last guests that we've been having the last couple weeks, we do appreciate you guys for coming back and listening to just us. We appreciate you guys supporting us. You guys are super appreciated. And if you're just a new guest and overall, just welcome to the podcast crew.
Yo, we work hard trying to bring a little bit of something different. We just talking shit at the end of the day, but it's growth stuff. It's
Sunshines and rainbows.
Sunshines and rainbows.
It's Jacob. You get
Perfect.
this guy.
Motherfucking Jacob.
Yeah. No, but those of you that are still listening with us and rocking with us, man,
Facts.
we're definitely feeling a different wave after these interviews we've done, and it feels good. You know what I mean? Because it's a nice little. It feels like a battery pack, like, and we're this far. So like if you've been listening to us since the beginning and we're 6 months in, I feel like we're up right now. We're definitely up.
6 months, and it's crazy because like I know a lot of people when they first said that we were first going to start this, like, oh, you're going to get a lot of support in the beginning, but you're going to lose a lot of support later on. And it's like our support, we felt a little drop off, but our support has been booming, and we've been increasing.
It like started low, kept going, and since the interviews and stuff, which was good, it's
spiked up.
It's up.
So
it's
yeah,
cool.
like I said, definitely appreciate everybody that did come over from the interviews that we've had with guests. Like I said, you guys are so appreciated. And if you guys are listening to us right now, you guys are even more appreciated. You guys are the reason why every week we try to bring something new. And like I'll say for like the last week the last month, every week we've been bringing something new to the table to try to elevate our game. Today, you know, we made a couple investments this week, man. Like we got the backdrop. If you guys see the lighting's a little bit better, we got a new camera. We might not be able to see it today. We're not using it today, but we got a new camera. So we're making some investments to elevate our game for you guys, man. So
we gotta make it, bro. Because I feel like we come up with good. We think hard. We came up with the basics. We came up with good content. Like I think we talk about good stuff.
Yeah, we do.
Our sound quality is good. Everything. So we gotta make the video like come alive.
On point.
We gotta match it with the video.
1000%. I agree with that.
And that takes fucking time.
Yeah, and that's probably been the hardest part of this journey, I would say.
The latter end of it right now. To be honest,
trying to get the visual right, because like whenever we have good videos, we have hiccups somewhere else. Like we had a good video with Transfamily, then we had some issues with the audio on the video side, and that created a delay and everything like that. Like we had like the recording last week. audio and everything was perfect, but then we had a dark room because we recorded it late at night. So it's just, honestly, this whole podcast is about our success and our failures, hands down. And that's something that I love about what we're going through right now, is because as we have things that, I wouldn't say failures, but as we things that we wish that we could have executed better, we come back the next week.
You're seeing the progress.
Execute.
You could hear the progress in how we talk. If you listen from the intro up, we talk better.
1,000%.
And then once we got that locked down, we started getting interviews with real, like I think quality people.
Stuff, yeah.
And even they say when they come on, they're like, "Yo, you guys, I like the flow of the show, this and that. That had to be developed. That had to be worked on." If you look at our Instagram or our TikToks or whatever, you see the first videos that we post look like dog poo-poo, look like dog shit. But like you can see like every video we post is a little bit better. You know what I mean? Better. And it's like, and it's gonna be that way, because the next video we post, we're gonna have this, we're gonna have lighting better, and then the next one's gonna have the camera. We're getting better and better, man. We're gonna we don't do nothing less than 100%.
Facts.
Or at 100%. We go 20.
And talking about our success and failures going through this journey. Who wants to start off with this weekly success?
Weekly success. All right, I got a success this week. I'll start. Ooh, we're home. All right, I got a success this week. So like I said, I was pivoting from the CPA exam. I'm going in the master's path. I got my interview next week. Oh shit, my bad. I got the interview next week for the master's program. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna execute that next Thursday. Which is good, and I'm still doing the program for the HVAC, so that's kind of fun. And it's funny too, because like I was obviously super hype about it, right? And then as you get into something and you learn, I'm still same feeling with it, but it tempers your excitement, right? It's oh, okay, I really have to get all this, okay, because now I'm putting faces and I'm putting dollar signs and I'm putting real things next to these ideas I have, and I'm like, okay, it just makes it just tempers it. But it was good. That's my success. Failure, I would say, and I'll talk about it. I think I'll talk about it later in the podcast, because there's been some things going, and it's funny because we just had the podcast with Santi, but I feel like I haven't been controlling my emotions very well recently, but they've been on 100, they've been on up, and I've been high 10s, but that's not an excuse. You know what I mean? That's the best way to test yourself. Right? Like when everything's good, you're talking all this shit, you're doing this and that. But when things are bad, that's what I'm starting to think now. It's like this is the time you're testing yourself, like who you are, and how you react and how you're gonna carry yourself. Yeah. That was a failure this week, though.
You wanna go next? You want me to?
So my success for the week would be I basically devoted my time, a lot of my fucking time, I'm not gonna lie, into my real estate. I just kept pushing myself and learning shit.
Bro. I was just talking about it earlier this week, and I was like, I can't believe we didn't highlight this enough on the podcast. But this man owns a home and quit his job to commit to this real estate shit.
Yeah, 100%.
And then failed it twice, and then passed it on the third time, and now it's it's not instant money.
No.
And that's what your success is. You've been putting, all right, now pick back up. I just feel like we haven't highlighted that. That's our man's, bro.
It's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's something. Here, put this up.
But my success is that I feel like, since I'm doing it full time, I'm giving it my all. And I feel like why people fail is because they don't do it full time. So that's why.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's my success. And then my failure would be, just kind of what you said. Keep your mind right. Keep your, your emotions and your mind just at bay, so you don't end up causing situations down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. So for me, my weekly success is I'm gonna drop in with a couple of success kind of. So I've been executing, doing my stuff right that I've been wanting to do, especially business side. I landed a 15 location client this week.
Yeah.
Shit.
Hit the applause for yourself, bro.
Big things, man. That was massive. So it was dope because they got like I said, 15 locations, bro.
Yeah.
And I would say it's probably one of the biggest in our area, biggest title companies. And I got in with them. So everything's great with that.
What was the breaking point? How did you get in with them?
Those cards, bro.
The cards. That's what I was going to ask. I didn't know, but
that got me into the door. I've been trying to market with them for I would say between 8 to 10 months. I've been trying to market with them, bro.
Really?
And, I would call and I would talk with them, and it was always I was just getting stuck into a wall with the receptionist. It was always oh yeah, I'll take your information.
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
But eventually, that's the first step, right?
Yeah. Well,
receptionist likes you. That helps you get.
Well, the reception was just like, oh, I'll take your number or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like it never, I don't think it ever got passed on. But so what it's kind of like a pro and a con. Like it was kind of harder because during COVID, it was kind of like hard to go into offices. They weren't like letting people come and just walk into offices. So that was kind of something that kind of helped, like kind of rendered me from being able to actually be like, hey, can I come and introduce myself? And now it's like, even though we're still in a pandemic, technically a lot of people are just like, especially in Florida, are kind of like, screw this at this point, you know? So I'm calling people and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm Zach, I'm a local notary. And then I have kind of like a little spiel I do with them, you know, I kind of talk about them, stuff like that. And then I'm always like, you know, I would really love to come in and talk to you in person about this. When can I come in? And I do this to the receptionist.
Yeah.
Receptionist's like, oh, you want to talk to me? And I'm like, yeah, I want to talk to you. You're important. Let's go talk. So I come in, I sit down, I talk with them. And that's actually how I started. I didn't even get in with this company through somebody big. I got in and had a meeting with the receptionist first.
Yeah.
And we sat down in one of their closing rooms and we sat down, we talked, and I talked to her who I was and what I do, yada, yada. And she's like, oh, my manager isn't in today, but I would love to have you come in another day. I'm like, great. Let me know whenever I'll come by.
Yeah, that's it.
And then
that's the access.
Yeah, so I gave her like the gift card when I first walked in. I was like, yo, hold on fast. How many people you got in your office today? She was like, oh, I got like 7. Yo, give everybody a gift card. Tell them I said, what's up? Have a good day. Walked out the door. She's like, oh, okay. And then I had called a couple of days later and I'm like, yo, it's Zach. She's like, oh, hey, Zach, how are you? Oh my God, did you have a good weekend? Blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, it was a great weekend. How's everything with you? We're just talking. And I was like, hey, I was just calling to see whenever I can get that meeting with the manager, blah, blah. And she was like, oh, that's actually great because she's in today. Come on by. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So I came in, and whenever I came in, the manager was like, oh, thank you so much for giving all my people a gift card. That was so great of you to do. I was like, yeah, of course, you know, and I sat down and spoke with her. Everything went great. And then she's like, oh, send me all your information, like all your credentials, everything like that. We would love to have you come on board with us. I'm like, okay, great. Send over my information. And then, like, I guess, like, there are people who deal with, like, the vendors or something like that. She messaged me and was like, oh, hey, can you send me a list of your fees and the locations that you're going to service us so I can get you added into our list, blah, blah. So I did all that. And then I actually ended up meeting, like, CEO, COO, and everybody like that higher up. After that, I had meetings with all of them. And so we're locked in, and I did a signing for them today with it.
Nice.
So it's great. I'm happy to be locked in with them. I got a lot of high hope because, like I said, they run a lot of things in Central Florida. So it's big. So that's definitely like my success for the week. And then my failure is, it's kind of funny because I got 2 failures. I got one. So I'll make my quick one. I only worked out 3 days this week instead of 5, but this week was end of month and end of the quarter. So signings were pumping, bro. It was crazy. And I was getting like a lot of last minute signings. So I was getting like, I had a couple booked for the day. And then like at 12 o'clock, I'm like, yo, can you do it 2:30? And at 2:30, I'm like, yo, can you do it 4? And that's like how my schedule today was like all over the places because like I only started the day with 2 signings and I ended up doing 5. Yeah. So like I had to squeeze 3 more in. So I was trying to figure everything out. So there's that. But so then like my main big failure is that like we had talked last week with Diago about the battle within your mind. And I realized it's another battle that like once you start learning how to control your mind better, there's another battle you have to do. And that's battling other people's minds. Like people that are close to you, because sometimes you're trying to better yourself and you're trying to do better yourself, trying to control your mind and try to find peace within yourself and everything like that, happiness. And then sometimes people that are around you aren't on the same level. And they can cause like issues.
Or not trying, and it makes it harder.
It makes things harder. And it's just like, I'm learning how to control myself, so don't fucking tempt me because I'm still working on it. You know what I mean? So like, it just makes things worse. But like, I felt like
that's the test though, right there.
And exactly, and I felt like I that kind of made me realize I wasn't as strong as I was hoping I was. Know, so that's like a real thing.
I asked a question to them like on the last one, and I don't know if I got the answer because like I feel like even like so you're controlling yourself, right? But imagine you're around somebody that's constantly like doesn't give a fuck what you're saying, or trying to do. And it's constantly testing you. Yeah, I think if you're constantly being tested, that's a good sign to be like, all right, I don't feel like getting tested anymore. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean you lose it. But everybody knows that feeling, like you boiling inside. You know what I mean? Whatever. But you're supposed to feel that, right? Like if you like even what Santi's saying, that's what we didn't really talk about. But like that boiling feeling inside, like you want to burst.
Yeah.
You're supposed to feel that, but you're supposed to be able to be like,
okay, this is what I'm feeling. I'm not gonna let it take over my body. I'm gonna let it put it down to the side,
right?
And then I'm gonna find my inner peace. Yeah,
right. But then if that energy keeps coming to you, no matter what, like you said, it's not always no matter what. But if it ever is a situation where it's always no matter what, that feeling keeps coming to you with that person, that's a good sign to like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
No,
cut. Like, damn, what's up with this person? You know, like whether it's an associate, a friend, or a significant, it's. Anyways, that's why I asked that question, because I'm like, yo, there's some people don't care.
Yeah,
you know.
And I think the level of where that level of cut also depends on that type of person, that the type of role they play in your life too. Because if it's just like an acquaintance, it's like, okay, you know what, you're just pissing me the fuck off, get the fuck out of my life. Whatever.
Oh no, for sure.
But if it's like somebody more deeper in your life, like for example, they were talking about how like she had that situation with her mother. So like, damn,
you can't cut.
That's a hard tie to sever. You know what I mean? So you like, but like I agree with their approach is constantly give love and provide love, and eventually you're gonna find your peace. But that's definitely a battle that like I'm already, like I said, I'm early on in this journey trying to get myself under control and find myself in like an enlightenment and pure potentiality and everything like that. And it's hard whenever like I'm battling myself and I got other factors battling me, you know what I mean? And I guess technically even still like other people battling you is just in reality a battle in your mind, because if you control your mind, then whatever happens outside of your mind doesn't really exist. It's not going to be a factor that actually affects you. But that's definitely something that like I failed with, because it has I felt it causing pressure on me, putting pressure on me, and like in the sense of like, damn, you know what I mean? So that's definitely a failure, because I feel like that I wasn't prepared for that, but I feel like it's good because I've kind of worked myself towards that a little bit though. But yeah, we can go ahead and get in that topic, baby.
Let's get to it. All right, so general topic, we'll think about which avenue we take with it or whatever, but the general topic is the past, right? So the past in every in which way, and I think we plan on talking about that way. My first question I'll talk about is how, all right, so we all have a past, or we all been through something in our past. How do you learn from it? Or how do you learn from other people's past? Because there's that quote where they say smart people learn from their own mistakes and wise people learn from other people's mistakes, right? Do you guys ever look into, because I feel like I've done that a lot.
Like, learn from yourself or learn from others?
Learn from others. Like not a lot of people can.
Yeah, 1000%. I feel like it's a factor of both for me. Me just being in the industry that I'm in, me working for myself, it's bound that I'm gonna have to learn from myself. My mistakes and I just feel like it's life overall to have to learn from your mistakes. That's just what happens. That's what happens in life.
You should learn.
Exactly, but I feel like if you have the opportunity to learn from other people's mistake, it's 1000% a great idea to be able to learn from it. But sometimes like it all depends on who you socialize yourself with and everything like that. Because there's, I mean, now I have more friends that are entrepreneurs. But when I first started becoming an entrepreneur, I almost knew nobody that was an entrepreneur, and it was like I'm over here trying to learn things on my own, and like I'm trying to talk to people about the things that I'm learning, and they don't even have no idea, because most of the people have never even been around that type of thing. So I had to learn a lot of things for myself. But that's where it's also great to have mentors, because they can teach you about mistakes that they've made, or lessons that they've learned throughout life. And I wish I would. That's kind of something I wish I would have done, was get a mentor when I was younger, because a lot of the things that I'm learning.
We are young though. We could still get mentors.
1000%. Yeah. And that's something that actually I had worked on my last business. My like when I had the remodeling renovation, when I was like focusing on that side of it, I had reached out to mentors, and I had 3 people that I was working with through there. I had a guy that was like on the operations side. I had a finance person. I had a marketing person. I was working with all 3 of them. And shout out to the SBA, because I don't know if you guys know this. This is a big bomb I'm dropping for you guys. If you work for yourself and you're an entrepreneur, you can go to the SBA.gov website, which is the Small Business Association Administration or something like that. It's like the government thing for small businesses. But anyways, you can go to that website and you can get some of the best mentors. Like, so these are people who have like whatever industry you're in, you can choose your industry and you find somebody within your industry. You find the person that specializes in a specific thing. So if you want to learn better on how to market yourself better within like a construction business, they're going to line you up with somebody who's been in the marketing side of the construction for like 40 years and they retired. These are people who like specialize in one industry their whole life and they retired. And these people, you can actually talk with them one-on-one. You get their direct number. They call you. They sit down with you, have meetings with you. Obviously, you got to put something to the table. You got to like, not like money-wise, but like they want to see you hungry, want to see you actually trying to do good. But they'll actually sit there and they'll spend hours talking to you. Like, especially the operations side guy that I was speaking to.
Because that's what they signed up for it. They're like, yeah. Exactly. Anybody that signed, like UCF, once you graduate, they send you mentorship, right? Like, come back and be a mentor or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, not really. But like anybody that does sign up for that, they want to do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And
like
that's pretty much what it is, you know. And I don't know if they get any benefit from it from the small business ministries. They might get kickback, whatever, tax breaks. I have no idea. But it was great because they provide a lot of resources and they give you a lot of connections.
Some people just want to give back, bro.
And that's a big thing. A lot of people, man, like these people are retired. They live their life. They probably had a successful businesses. They probably still have successful businesses, you know, whatever it is. And
they just want to spread it.
Exactly, man. And it's great. And sometimes, you know, they like the guy I was working with for the marketing, whatever, he has a marketing company. He's like, yo, bro, if you pay me $200 a month, I guarantee I can get you X amount of leads per month. And he was like, he's like, I'm not pushing you to do it. If you want to do it, you can do it. Up to you. He's like, I'm just throwing the offer out there. He's like, my business is this is what we specialize in, man. Like, he's like, my work speaks for itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's definitely best to learn. I'm going way off topic. It's definitely best to.
No, that's mentor. Mentor is good because we're talking about you can learn from your own past, right? Yeah. But like learning from others is important, and mentors is big. So much so that like even leading up to this topic, I was kind of thinking like even your peers, like the people you're around, is a big thing. But there's pros and cons because. Like I could argue, like throughout when I went to school, I was working at a warehouse, right? Yeah. So I get to see people that it's either their start of their job type life, or like you worked at a warehouse too, right? Like in construction and stuff like that. You see like people also end up there, you know, and stuff, and then you kind of see the reasons why, and then you kind of take. I used to, I don't know why, I used to just take from it and be like, ooh, okay, why did he want to stay here and do this, or what led this person, and then people would be there and not want to be there. You know, and then you're just like, okay, you know, I learned that side. And then also like in my more recent job, like I'm around different people. We have different type of conversations. It's more about stocks. It's more about savings and stuff like that.
It's so different, right?
And
it's
like, how do we get better? And then it's like, ooh, like I like this. This is, and then you learn about people pursuing those paths. And then you're like, okay, cool. And then you really better in yourself. But there's definitely a good part of being around people that aren't doing so well. Yeah. If you're willing to learn from it the right way, right? And then people that are doing really well, because obviously you're just hearing about different things in different ways. Even if they fail, you're learning about a good path, you know? I
think it's really great to have a mixed set of individuals around you.
For sure.
Because you can learn something from everybody, you know? Some, like, even if you have friends that like are doing really, really bad, by that, like, that can help you in the sense of like humbleness. It can help you stay humble. Like, dang, bro, you're like, you know, I'm happy I don't have a lot of the issues that like I see them going through. It can also help you in the sense of like you can always provide out for them and give, so that can be something great for you.
I think a big thing too, Jacob, you might relate. The same, I relate for sure. I know you probably relate. Everybody can relate. Is like, how about this lesson that you can learn from others people's past? You're trying to, like, somebody has a bad past and they might be on a current bad path, right? Yeah. And then you're trying to help them. Oh, okay. And you're just like, I don't understand why you can't accept this help.
Understand it, yeah.
Why don't you understand me? And that might make crystallize in your head better when you the one saying.
Yeah, I mean, I give a lot of advice out, honestly, like at least to my family and a lot of people I do know recently. Because I mean, my past, you know, my past is pretty deep. It goes into like, you know, I got arrested a couple of times, this bullshit, and it does affect me today.
You learn from yourself a lot too.
But I learned from it. No, I feel like, I mean, because of that question in general, I feel like it's kind of rhetorical, because at the end of the day, if you jump off a bridge and I see you die by jumping off that bridge, I obviously learned from your mistake. You know, it's very easy to learn from others' mistakes, especially when you're in that area. But the biggest thing to learn from is your own mistakes, because that's something that you never saw before. That's something you didn't witness, and that's something you are actually experiencing, and you're like, you know what, I fucked up. Some people can't accept their own fuck ups.
So I think in the simplest form, you're right.
But the sense you're talking about,
in the simplest form, you're right, right? Like if you jump off a bridge, I know not to jump off, I'll die. But then but then you take it a step forward, and then it's like there's people that say, like not going to school and not trying certain things will lead you to a path, right? Or if you see somebody that's a bum on the, I got a better one. Right. Somebody that's a bum on the street, right? And then it's like, oh, what did this person do to get there, right? And it's like, oh, they did drugs and stuff like that. They didn't really focus on anything and this and that, blah, 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 right? I know we know a bunch of people there's just like a party lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
That's the beginning, right? Or is it, right? And then sometimes if you don't have that figure to learn from it, because like, I'll tell a good example is my pops, right?
Yeah.
In and out of the hospital this week, right? Because of drinking. So the beginning is fun, right? The beginning is this and that, right? But then it turns into a dependency and this and that. And it's not like I drink and I have fun all the time, right? But I think a big thing is like, okay,
balance.
Like dependency. I'm not dependent on it. You know, I don't want to be like you said earlier today when it's like, when you're having like issues with your hormones, your mom's like, why don't you smoke weed? It's like, I don't want to be dependent on it. I'll do it if it helps here and there, but I don't have to be dependent. Like that's something I learned, you know what I mean? Like from my dad's past, or like, look where it leads to. Yeah. And it's like, ooh, I will never, bro. And that's obviously a drastic. I think that's more closer to like what you said, where it's like if you jump off, if he jumps off of a bridge, I'm not gonna jump off of a bridge.
You know how the
But there is subtle ways. I think it's a skill. Okay, everybody can learn. That I think that's a good distinction. Everybody can learn. If you jump off a bridge, I won't jump off a bridge. If you drink your whole life and do this, I won't do that because I see what. But then there's this. I think the skill is to be able to learn from others in the subtle way, right? Like the quote, smart people learn from their own mistakes, wise people learn from others. I think that wise people learn from others is like that in between. Like the subtle mistakes that people make, those that learn from that, right? Like, cause everybody knows if you shoot yourself in the head, you're dead. You know what I mean?
Obvious one,
but I'm not gonna do that, right? So like, that's what most people can understand. But then that nuance, that in between, I think that's where, you know, that's the wise people. Like, how do you take the smallest little things? Like, is this guy look happy right now? Why isn't he happy? Yeah. Oh, because he doesn't express himself to his significant other.
Yeah. That's not intellectual.
You know, like those are little things.
I feel like that's intellectual though, bro.
It's hard.
I don't feel like that has to do with, you know, like it has to really be how strong you are in your mindset. Like,
or are you trying?
Like, are you trying? Are you trying to
learn from others?
Are you are you open to? You know,
that's why we're talking about this.
There's a whole other side to that. There's a whole other side to that. And it's also of when not to learn from other people's mistakes.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because I've, like, for example, in the business that I'm in, there's a lot of people that fail at what I do.
Yeah. And if everybody and
there's a lot of people who fail at what I do, and I see it every day. I see people. I'm in part of a bunch of Facebook forums from the business that I'm in, and there's hundreds of thousands of us, you know, in these groups. And I see a lot of people complaining like, "Oh, I can't make no money in this industry. This industry is not good." Blah blah. And it's like, if I was somebody new coming in and seeing this, and I would have been like, "Oh, this is not a good industry." Blah blah.
If you listen to everybody,
exactly. So you have to like learn to pick and choose who to listen to. Mm-hmm. But on the contrary, there's also another side of that too, where sometimes you just have to learn things on your own.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm sometimes like that. Like there's sometimes like this kind of breaks down to like I've told like come back to the advice thing. I've told people a lot of advice before, but until they want to change, they will not change. And that has to start with inside of yourself. And there's been a lot of times I've gone down the road and there's two outcomes, pros and cons. But you never know if you're gonna. You never know. And I see people who make mistakes. I see people who succeed, and they made a mistake making that decision to go down that road, or I see people who prospered making a decision to go down that road.
I also feel like it's way different. Like for me, and I can see the struggle because it's ego. So for me, I just complimented myself on being able to learn from others' mistakes, right? Mm-hmm. But when I say that, I mean like from like a third party perspective. Yeah. Or you know what I mean? Like I'm watching what's going on and I'm taking notes and I'm like, ooh, if you do it this way, whatever, this and that. But you know what's harder than that is to take advice. Because of ego. Yeah. Because I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I'll tune out a little bit, but then like you said, unless you wanna know, you know, then I'm the best. I'll listen to anybody and everybody. I'll ask everybody a question and I'll take it as word is bond. You know what I mean? But to just like freely, because you know what? Like I say that all the time too. Is like to be able to sit back and listen and take it for what it is. Even if you're sitting in your head thinking this is bullshit or something like that, you still should take it in because maybe you learn another fact that sparks what that person said. You know what I mean? And then you're like, you know what? And then that's true. Or you don't, but you never will have that crystallizing point unless you listen and sit back and listen and stuff like that. Yeah. I definitely have reacted negatively off of like from my ego by somebody's trying to tell you how to do something.
Somebody's trying to tell me how to do things. And a lot of times what irritates me with it is that the people that are trying to tell me how to do things have never done it. For one, they have no experience with it. Yeah. And for two, they don't even know what I'm doing. Sometimes,
yeah,
you know what I mean, and that's a lot of times what caused my reaction. It's like you don't even know what the fuck you don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
you never even done what I'm doing. So how are you going to tell me how I need to do what I'm doing if you never even done what I'm doing? That's what irritates me.
And sometimes it's like you got to get them to like, okay, yes, I tried that already.
Yeah.
Like I want to hear your advice, but like shit that I've already done or things I already kind of have went through, and you're trying to tell me about it. It hurts my feeling. Yeah. It's ego though. I think that's a test of emotion.
It's 100%. But I think that there's a, I don't know if there's a correct terminology for it, but I think there's like a valued point of criticism. Yeah. And then there's also like a negative point of criticism, because I feel like people always got something to say. And sometimes the input that people put is good, and sometimes the input that some people give is bad. Yeah. And I've learned that you can't listen to everybody, but that can also be a mistake, because sometimes the input that somebody gives you that you think is bad could be something that's positive input, and
you think is bad,
and vice versa. It's something that you think is good, it could be bad. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's vice versa. But like,
so I feel like listen to everything and
you have to make a decision on your own. That's just how life is. Sometimes sometimes you make wrong decisions, and that's part of life. But I feel like it's really important to, if you're going to get advice from somebody, I think it's important that person has some type of expertise or has some type of knowledge in what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Generally,
it's subjective.
But yeah, so I was gonna say generally. There are some times that you can have somebody outside who has thinking outside the box that could throw you a spitball that can help you. But I would say more times than not, the advice that you're gonna receive, if it comes from somebody who's has experience with that, it holds more weight.
Well, you should, like everything. If you ask me, you just take in all the information, right, and you use that and make your own decisions off 100%. Of it, right? But all information is not equal, like you said, right? And I think even if somebody isn't qualified and the advice that somebody's given is like, all right, that's a low weight coming in. Yeah. I'll take it though, process it. And then when the more experienced and qualified or somebody that did this and that, okay, yeah, that's going to make a heavy weight on the decisions I make. Yeah. But I think it's good, even the people that like you don't have a lot of weight in, or that person that you get that feeling for it, it's like, yo, shut the fuck up, bro. It's good sometimes to just listen to it. And then, because sometimes they're just projecting something on you. Yeah. And on top of that, even if the advice they're giving now, like if you shut that down, they might not ever give you advice. Exactly. Yeah. Right? So just take it for what it is and then wait for the next one. That might be a gem.
I feel like, by not taking the advice, because at the end of the day, you retain what you want to and you let go of what you don't want. That's at the end of the day.
For sure.
If you're wise enough, you're intellectual enough, and you know you're smart enough, then obviously you can listen to everyone's input and take anything you want. You can even pick apart words and create your own. But to sit there and not listen to somebody just because you think they're gonna be giving you shit advice is stupid. I've been told it's a bunch of shit stuff.
But some people just sit there and not listen to somebody straight out of ego. You know, it's just
pride.
It's like
pride. You know,
and that might be just as bad as telling somebody, "Yo, stop! You don't know what you're talking about."
That's the ignorance I'm talking about. Yeah, you're smart. You're there.
I feel like you should always listen to everybody, but I'm saying like applying what you receive.
You're right. You're right.
Not always on the case, because I've had some people tell me some stuff. I'm just like,
yeah. I don't think we're arguing. Yeah, we're on the same page.
What? I'm like, what? You don't even know what? That's not how this works, bro.
I think you just added a layer to it. It's like adjust the weight of the information coming in. Take it all in, but 100%. You shouldn't take it all in like it's the same.
Not all. Yeah, you shouldn't apply all the information you receive.
Not all advice is equal.
Yeah. 1000%.
But so then learning from yourself, right? Because that's one thing I want to pull some layers off of too. So learning from yourself, right? Like you mentioned, right? You went through your shit. I think we've all went through certain things, right? Where you learn from. You guys can explain. But I think it sounds like it might be easier because the quote is saying, like smart people learn from their own mistakes, wise people learn from other people. But there is, I would like to think, disciplined people learn from their own mistakes, right? Like, so yeah, smart people learn from their own mistakes, wise people learn from others. But on the other end of the spectrum, I think it takes a disciplined person to learn from their own mistakes, and it takes a maybe a conformative type of person to learn from others' mistakes, right? So like, if you make a mistake, right, sometimes people correct it or react to it depending on the amount of exposure it has, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like if everybody, like if I make a mistake on this video and we're uploading on YouTube and stuff, I'm gonna correct it instantly. We're correcting it instantly because everybody's trying to watch, whatever. We're trying to promote it, this and that.
There's a
But
There's a fly flying around.
$50.
He's
$50 if you could just like grab
It's
it.
a fly.
It's not.
Anyways.
My house is not dirty.
It's attracted by the light.
It's our studio, bro. We're like in downtown right now. That shit is dirty, bro. We gotta get in the studio, bro.
Nah, it's just from the lights. We have some crazy lights
But-
and the flies are attracted.
I just think it takes a disciplined person to learn from their own mistakes because I think
Facts.
most of our own mistakes are not public. I think they are. You don't have to tell everybody. Most of your own mistakes, you don't have to tell a soul.
Nah.
It's just between you, And like sometimes that's why people argue with their significant others and stuff because maybe it's just your significant other that knows your mistakes and it's like
it's a battle with
it's
them.
like bitch nobody knows about this, like you don't gotta bring this up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it takes discipline,
It does. I mean, at the end of the day, discipline is always. That's like the intellectual level. I mean, if you're disciplined, you're obviously gonna be like smart on yourself. You're gonna be like, you know what, I did that shit. That was stupid. I know if I went this route, it could have been better. So let me go this route. Like. People will do that. However, I feel like there's so much ignorant people on this world. With social media, with all this shit we got going on, with all the technology we have, a lot of people won't think rationally for themselves.
Well, I think there's a way where you make your own mistake and then like to your point, instead of being disciplined and learning from it, these days there's so much ways to bury it. Like there's so much ways to distract yourself from it.
But I feel like if it's not consequential enough, like if there's not gonna be an actual like reprimand for what they did, like instantly, they let it go.
It's
like,
discipline, bro.
Say if you cheat on your boyfriend and it was like, oh, I fucked up and I just cheated on, but you're not going to jail. You're not getting arrested.
Nobody
you're not
knows.
getting shot.
Nobody knows nothing.
No one knows. You're gonna let it go.
Are you gonna learn from it?
I can maybe get away with it again. Like things that you're not, and that's where it becomes like you're right. The discipline.
Did you say cheat on your boyfriend? You said that, right?
I mean, it's
all right. We got the clip. Don't worry about it.
I did
I'll
say
clip
that. I was kind of gay, but
No,
I mean, it is
I'm
what it
posting
is.
that.
I love everybody.
Keep going.
I love everybody, but it's just that point being said.
Most people just let it
Most
go.
people won't go out their way. I mean, like you said, like if it's not obvious enough, if it's not me getting arrested, going to jail, I'm not going to go out my way to expose myself and learn from my mistakes. And that's how a lot of people are. Not me personally, not you, not him.
That's why.
That's the discipline.
That's why I argue learn from your own mistakes is a little harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know, like it is a little bit of intellect and foresight, but that just adds to like the pain you feel for it. I think really it's that discipline. I like
For me personally, I feel like learning from my mistakes is stronger. I don't want to say it's better because it sucks to go down a hole, but I feel like it always impacts me stronger. Like if I go through
Hell
something
yeah.
and I had to learn from it myself directly, it's like, damn, this is like pain that I had to feel. This is things that I had to go through. And it's crazy because I've made a lot of major mistakes multiple times.
right.
And
The same one too.
that's what I'm saying, the same one.
And you can feel that moment where you're like, it's okay.
Yeah. No.
Or excuse.
No. Not at all. For me, like whenever I feel the moment that I'm like, when I'm aware of me making the mistake, I'm like, you fucking dumb piece of shit. Like, are you kidding me?
But
Like,
how do you make it again though?
because I'm not aware.
Because you said it's okay some way or another. It
No,
was okay.
Not even just saying it's okay. It's just like me not being aware of what I'm going through sometimes, like what the moment that comes, and
And then you just react the same way again.
The emotion.
no, that's the difference. So like once I'm aware of what I'm going through, I fix it. But like in the moment, sometimes I'm just
So
not
what
aware.
mistake did you make multiple times though? You know what I mean?
Come on, Zach. What you fuck
You
up
said
on?
you made a
Come on,
mistake
bro.
multiple times, but then you tell me, no, I learned.
Right now?
No. I'm not saying I learned from it. I'm saying that I made the mistake, but like not in the sense that I've learned from it. I'm just saying that like sometimes I made the mistake again with not being aware of it. And it's more so just like small things like discipline,
Right.
stuff like that within myself, like things that like I face daily or like things I've gone through in my business, different things. It's like things that like I don't realize sometimes I'm not aware of that I'm going through again until I'm in the moment. I'm like, okay,
I did
but-
it again.
Exactly. Like I'm going through this hole again. Let me get the fuck out of it. And it's not like I'm not gonna say that I haven't learned from it because I have learned from it and I know what I need to do. But sometimes
It takes that.
it's like every single day to not fall in the hole. It can be harder. And like I'm trying to think of like a
I got a
example.
great example for you when
Do
you're
it.
done.
Oh, I have an example. Marketing for me.
Yeah.
That's something that I've gone through multiple times. My first business that I ever had, my launch landscape business, I did very little marketing. But I did a lot of marketing when I first started, built some clientele up, and after that, it was just kind of word of mouth. I didn't do a whole lot of marketing, and that wasn't the best thing. If I would have done more marketing, I could have blew it up a lot more. And then when I came into like the renovation remodeling, I didn't do a whole lot of marketing.
That wasn't the first thing you thought about. Was the mistake.
Exactly. You know, like I kind of went through that. But now with how I am now, I find myself like with my businesses, I see moments where like I'm marketing a lot, and then it's like, okay, damn, I need to market more, marketing. Damn, I need to marketing. You know, it's like an up and down battle, and it's usually how it works is that like I market, build a bunch of clientele, and then it slows down a little bit. I'm like, fuck, I gotta market. Okay, build a bunch of clientele. Fuck, I gotta market again. So that's kind of like how it is versus like how I.
You're also doing it by yourself. So like, it's not like you have a marketing team or a person designated. So it might have to flow that way. And then that is maybe the effect of you just constantly, you are learning from it and you're just doing it. But it's a constant like, all right, you gotta do it. All right, you gotta do it. Like working out or something, right? Like most people don't start working out until they gain weight. Okay, now it's in public. You know, or something like that.
And kind of how I've implemented and like how something that I've gained myself is funny because you guys keep both looking at your empty cups.
No, I do it because
I want to drink so bad.
Thank you. I do it because of Cruz, because he keeps looking at it like he's wishing there's more in there.
I want to ask you, if you're not looking at the video,
I'm not doing it because I want to. All right.
No, it's all
we
good.
put a backdrop so we can't open the door.
I love that you said that because I want to say that shit so
I was dying, bro. But anyways, like something I've implemented to kind of help me from being at that point. Something that I've done to implement me from falling down that hole is that I have this like something that I feel like if you have a business you need to do. This is like so important. You, Jacob, too. This is so important. Anybody that has a business,
it's fucking important.
You need to do this. Set working hours for yourself. Okay, if you want 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, whatever it is, set working hours for yourself. I have my time from 8 to 4, and I adjust it. It's 8 hours every day, Monday through Friday. I adjust it depending on how I get started with my working out, whatever. Anyways, if I am not doing a signing between that time, I need to be marketing. If I am not marketing between that time, I need to be doing invoicing. If I'm not doing my invoicing between that time, I need to do bookkeeping. I need to be working
on the business
in that time frame. And that's something that I made a lot of mistakes with in my first business I had, is I was not working during business hours. I was like, okay, I'll go work.
Allocating your time appropriately the way it needed to be.
I would go work my jobs and I come home and be like, oh, okay, this is great. You know, everybody's at work. I get to relax. No, bro, that's how you fail.
Yeah.
What you need to do is you need to work more hours than what the person works at a job. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
I say that, but in reality, at 9 o'clock at night, I'm printing documents for my next morning sometimes. But like in reality, you need to be working. You have to have a work time. If you're not working in that time, if you're not like doing your physical work that your job requires, if you're doing concrete, if you're not laying concrete down, you should be more networking. If you're not selling houses in that moment or showing houses, you need to be networking. You need to have that set schedule. And when I started implementing that, I started seeing so much change and so much growth and so much difference. And that's why a lot of people that I've helped a lot of people get started in what I'm doing. I see a lot of new people get started into what I'm doing. And whenever I hear them saying like, oh, it's slow, or like, hey, I haven't got a lot of people calling me for that, I'm like, are you putting as much time into this business as you put into a job?
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing, is because I know a lot of people who are willing to go put 40 hours for a job instead of the desk making phone calls or do whatever for 40 hours, but they're not willing to put 40 hours into themselves. They're not willing to sit there and be like, okay, I need to work a 9 to 5 for my own business. How are you willing to put 40 hours into somebody else, but you're not willing to put 40 hours into yourself and you want to be successful?
He's right. He's right.
That's what they say.
Steps.
They say is like people that go do that type of work, like contracting, your own business, entrepreneurship, even sales, real estate. And it's like
Dude, I'm straight commission.
So you got the risk, right?
I got 100% risk. So I don't do shit. I don't make shit. That's it.
So they say that type of job is you traded the 9 to 5 for a 24/7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's facts, because like
that's hard to allocate.
That's literally how it comes. You know what's even crazier?
Yeah, that's hard to allocate.
I was almost gonna have to go do a signing at 10 o'clock tonight.
Right.
It was supposed to be my 3:30, but documents were late, and they're like, "Oh, we need to have this order signed today." I'm like, "Yo, 10 o'clock."
Yeah.
They're like, "Bet." I'm like, "Really? 10 o'clock?" And they're like, "Yeah, we didn't have to get done today." I'm like, "All right, bet." And then luckily, by the grace of God, they called me and said, "Hey, can you do 10 o'clock tomorrow morning instead?"
Yes, that sounds way motherfucking. That
I'm
makes
like,
sense.
I'm already on my way.
Shit, thank you.
I'm like, yes, please, but seriously, like that's seriously how it is, and like,
You're willing to do
it's me being in my business like this, it has caused issues in my relationship with this stuff. Like, there's times that my girls was like, "Yo, babe, let's go to sleep." I'm like, "Yo, I
Can't.
am working. I gotta prepare my documents for right now, so tomorrow morning I'm not stressing the hell out." You know what I mean? Like, there's things I have to do, and I'm on my phone 24/7, man. That's one of the downsides to what I do. I cannot be away from this phone. There's been times I put this phone down and the counter, I go take a shower, come back, and I lost $300, $400. Like, that's the most expensive shower I've ever taken in my fucking life, bro. That hurts, bro. And there's times that, like, sometimes I go to bed a little bit early. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed a little bit early so I can wake up early tomorrow. I'll wake up in the morning and lost $200 sleeping. Man. And that's just how it is, bro. And like, that's a lot of things that people don't talk about when you work for yourself, man. Everybody talks about the glories of it, but there's a lot of downsides.
Cons, of course, because you're not getting paid.
What was your example, Jacob? Constantly learning about mistakes.
I mean, mine was stocks. Like, it was.
Yeah,
it was
that's true, bro.
Bro,
Oh
you
my
understand
God.
In the beginning, how many fucking times I was
like gambling,
Jacob,
yeah.
like, this is stupid. Don't just fucking do this. Like, you know that you're not looking at charts right now. You're not really even looking at indicators. You're just fucking saying, hey,
This company has this, and I like that.
no, this company went down this much. You're guaranteed your fucking money. Like, and then you get into it and you lose fucking everything.
Everything
Yo,
that falls
I lost,
doesn't always come up.
Yo,
Like-
it was like 1 week I lost 2,000 like off my dumbass mistakes, and I was like, you know what? This is stupid as shit.
Yeah.
Like, take
Yeah.
your time. And now I'm actually looking at like
Stocks
indicators
is-
and stuff. And now it's like, yo, with my indicators, I'm about 80% right. I'm not 100% right.
As long as
Like,
you listen
for
to the
instance, my
science a little
indicators
bit.
today- Like,
Yeah.
my indicators a week ago, I knew Apple and SPY was gonna go down.
Yeah.
Because of the RSI and the divergences I was having, I knew they was gonna go down for sure because it kept hitting a new low every day.
What is that? RSI?
So the RSI is the I'm dreaming it.
We don't have to get too deep into it.
The RSI is an indicator though, and then the new lows are basically what's closing at every new day. It was closing at a lower low. Once you notice that, I knew that. I said that shit. I caught it instantly.
Yeah.
But it's those mistakes that I didn't do in the beginning
Yeah,
that I had
bro.
to learn from and be like, all right, Jacob, watch
That's
all these 100 hours of YouTube videos, and there you got it. You
That
know?
shit is a emotional roller coaster, bro. And then you get discouraged because then you're just like, and then there's the mistake of being like, oh, this is stupid. There's no way. I'll just do whatever I want. And then it's like, nope, you're wrong. You know what I mean? Like, listen to the science, and then you can be a percentage right. You know, at least.
I feel like stocks is probably one of the most, like, one of the biggest things that require so much mind control.
Yes.
You have to be so
That
disciplined.
money's dropping.
You have to be so disciplined, and you have to make sure that you have like a detachment from the money when you
Yeah.
do stocks. Because if you're not detached from the money in the stocks, you become emotional. And whenever you become emotional with stocks, is the worst thing. You
That's
do not.
true.
You know, it's
you
true.
do, you
It's
do
stressful
not.
as fuck. You
You
don't
do
wanna do
not want to
that.
be emotional with stocks. And if you're attached to the money that you put into the stocks, you're going to be more emotional.
You're gonna make
And-
bad decisions.
And that's one of the reasons why I don't like short-term training, bro. I
love
like
it, though.
I like long-term.
So I'm saying it is a little
It's so
different too,
fucking
because
fun.
that detachment is only to a certain point. If you're
Yeah.
not doing it, when you're doing day trading, you gotta do a little bit. You're a little bit
attachment, but
attached.
it's-
Yeah.
it's so fun.
when I'm in index funds and the market drops, it doesn't drop 100% in a day.
No.
You know what I mean? When you're in index funds,
It also doesn't go up 100%.
Yeah, I mean, like, you
no,
might. You
yeah.
might make-
100%. But like the thing is that like for me, if I see like a 1%, I'm like, oh, okay,
That's nice.
That's not
See,
bad.
you like
Yeah.
happy.
Like a 1% drop. I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Like 1% drop. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, a 10% drop. Ooh, that kind of hurts. Man,
You
let me
also
tell
don't
what,
even
Bad
look
for
at
you.
it.
You don't even care about
Let me
that.
tell you what. I've played in short-term stocks before, and I put my money in. I checked 3 hours later, and I'm like, oh, we cut this bitch in half.
I've been just like that, bro.
We cut this in half.
Dude, that
in
hurt.
3
That shit-
hours.
No.
In
But
3
worse is
hours?
when you see your money dropping and the market ain't closed and it keeps dropping. Oh, 500? Oh, 1,000? Okay. Lord, you love me or not? Like, at this point, it's like, Lord, like, please.
But yeah, I've
bro.
learned that short-term trading requires a lot of discipline.
You know what I just
It
thought
does.
about though? I remember like we didn't even put that episode out, but remember like the first one we actually recorded was just Jacob talking about stocks the whole time, just
yeah.
teaching
I
us
still
about.
do it. I still do it.
No, but like
Yeah,
you were
the
trying to teach
options.
us
The
about options. That
Oh,
was
yeah, that was a
You're
hard
so welcome. We didn't
explanation.
put that out, guys.
No, yeah.
Yo, I
There's
was
a lot of episodes. It's funny.
It
'cause
was
I still have them all. I still have all those
I need to hear
episodes.
that shit, bro.
I still have all
Hey,
those
Snow
episodes.
did good though. Shit, that
It
went
did.
all the way to the 3 somethings,
It
bro.
did,
And
but that was on
preached-
here.
I preached that at 200, and it went all the way to the 3 somethings.
You put that on here though.
I know I did.
Yeah, you put that on here.
shit,
Snow. I
bro.
saw that snowflake flew. It's over now, but yeah, that shit
Yeah,
flew.
nah.
So I wanted to ask you guys though, learning from learning from your past, when do you learn to disconnect from your past?
Right.
Because that's just as important as learning from your past.
Like to not let it affect now, right?
Yeah,
Or
so,
your
like,
future.
exactly. Not let it affect you now. Like for example, there's somebody I know that's been going through a lot of like mental problems, and it's because of like when they were younger, they had got called fat a lot and got made fun of like not having a bunch of nice clothes for that. But the thing is, the person nowadays is freaking shredded.
Yeah.
Like when I say shredded, bro, I mean like
Like
bro,
you talk shit to me, bro.
I wish I had the body like this, bro. It's
Yeah.
like great body.
Great cock.
And and
It's huge.
this person is like struggling a lot
Yeah.
mentally
Yeah.
with the demons that he has in his past. And it's crazy to see that, like, you know, we talk about learning from your past, but there's like sometimes like your past can affect you in so many different ways because this episode is about being in the past. It's not,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's crazy because like it's weird to see like how much the past can affect people now. You know what I mean? And what's even crazier is that like I see the person worried about what people said about him in the past, but I'm like, when I spoke to the person, I sat down and spoke to him, and I was like, bro, why are you so worried about what people said to you back then? He's like, oh, because that shit hurt, bro, and it bothered me a lot. And I was like, are you fat now? No, I'm not. I'm like, do you care about like you not having the $1,500 shirt? No, I don't really bother me. Okay, so why are you so worried about what happened back then? Oh, because it hurt. But you're not that person today, bro. That's not who you are.
Yeah.
Why is it bothering you right now? You know what I mean? And it made me wonder because like it's funny that you said past because as soon as you said that I was like
Let go of
I had
that.
just finished this conversation with this person almost, and it made me think like it's crazy how much we dwell on the past about the person that we used to be, or the person or things that we have gone through, or everything like that. And it's like, why do we focus so hard on things that aren't even existing
can't
today?
change.
You can't change it. And it's like what happened, and it's not who you are. What happened yesterday is not happening today. Who you were yesterday is not who you are today. I mean, you know, in a sense, like if you're fat and you're skinny now, then like that's not who you are.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like why does it matter what people used to say about you? You know
I
what
just think there is like, and everything we say is a balance, but like, I think to totally ignore is almost impossible. A, but B, I think you should learn from it and feel it. It's kind of like an emotion, right? Like you get mad, you should feel it fully. You need to cry, you cry, right? Because they say if you hold that shit in, that's bad. You know what I mean? You compartmentalize, that's bad. So like when we talk about past and kind of like that guy, so like a bad past, let's just say it there, a bad past, right? I think there's like 3 tiers of it, and I think there's a bad past that it's almost healthy for you, like. There's an unhealthy way of doing it, but like I think in his way it benefited him, right? Like that bad past sticking with him made him lose weight, and he's in shape, he's cut. He isn't who he is if he doesn't get bullied.
Yeah,
let
but
go of it.
it's to the
He
point.
can't let go.
It's to the point exactly.
He's so stuck. He's shredded.
He's
ripped.
connected.
Yeah.
And
But he's so
it's,
stuck.
when I
Do you
say
think it's sad though that most people like that? There is something that's life, like that is in their head constantly that makes them feel that way a little
you know
bit.
it's crazy, and like this is like something else. It's funny that you say that because
Models.
There's a thing going on TikTok right now, and it's like a background thing, and it's like the people in the gym, like the people that are in the gym, we're in the gym because we're fighting demons every day, and we're battling demons, and this is like our escape is like that.
It's an escape
true.
though.
That's
It's
actually
hell.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it is crazy because like, you know, I think back, and when I got in the best shape of my life back in like 2016, 2017, I was fighting a lot of demons in that sense.
Right.
And that was my escape. I would go there, and I remember because like I would literally walk into, like what I would do is I would go to the gym, I'd walk into the bathroom, and I would just stare at myself and like lock into my eyes and just be like, you're fat, bro. You're fat as hell. I'm being so serious, bro.
I
Like, for real.
believe
To yourself,
I'd
yeah.
be like, yo, you're so fucking fat, bro. And it's like, and like I would sit there and be like, yo, you need to do something about this, bro, because look at you. It's nasty, bro. What are you doing? And I would go to the treadmill and I go run for 3 hours with a hoodie on, bro.
Yeah.
For real, bro.
But don't you think to like? I think that's positive though. You know, like as long as you stay balanced
to a certain degree, but like.
And keep your mental up.
Now,
that's a good thing.
Now, but the thing is,
because there's a way to take that and badly affect your life.
But the thing is, if you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're talking to yourself like that, you're taking it badly.
You're taking it pretty badly, yeah.
You're not in a good space.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that's true.
But
no,
it's also not that bad though.
And it's crazy though because that happened when I was 270 pounds, and that was still happening when I was 175 pounds.
Okay, no, that's when it's fucking
problem.
bad.
And
it didn't go.
Exactly. And so like I can understand kind of where this guy's come from because I went through that. Nowadays, I'm like 220 right now. Okay, I'm happy as fuck with myself. You know what I mean? I'm losing weight just so I can be in better shape. I'm losing weight just like not because like I'm looking in the mirror and tell myself I'm fat because I love who I am and I'm happy with who I am and everything like that. I'm not worried about it. I'm just trying to get in better shape for longevity more so.
But you would not like, and I feel like I do the same thing. And guess what? We're never gonna look like those guys that have 6 packs and they're like doing all this stuff. There might be a reason for some of it, right? Yeah. Some people do it for sport, and I think that is different too, you know. But I do think like all the models and stuff, they say those are the most unhappy people in the world. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And there has to be some type of back motivation for you to get to that point.
But I also think those aren't the worst. Obviously, you gotta balance and keep your mental up.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's a positive.
That create that. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if you're fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Because I think there's another tier, right, where something bad happens in your life, and you negatively affect the rest of your life, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Where it's like detrimental almost.
So like I feel like, cause you know I was fat too at one point, not 270 though. I'm sorry. No.
But you're a kid.
Yeah, that's significant. He lost all that weight. That's a big deal. I mean, I was about 200 and I was like 12 years old, 11 years old, and I was in Connecticut. My brothers and sisters used to grab my tits and stuff and like call me fat and like make all these jokes about me being fat. So one day, like he said, and one day I went to Connecticut for 2 months and I started running every fucking day. Did push-ups every day. I came back home swole. I was 8th grade me. I was swole in 8th grade, and everyone was like, "Oh shit," you know. So he's right. Like, you know, those words changed me, but I never remember them past that day. But then again, I've dealt with, like he said, bottling up emotions, because that's one big thing you're right about. People need to know you can't and as a man too, this is for men, because I think men have the hardest time understanding this and doing this. We keep our emotions bottled up. Like, when I say fucking bottled up, bottled the fuck up.
For the most part.
For the most part. And that's for everything you go through in life. I mean, for the ridicule, you know, like for the hardships, you know, like I went through some hardships. I didn't say shit to nobody. I held it in. All the bullying, I held it in. And those are the things that eventually will creep the fuck out. That's the things that will keep you dwelling on the past. That's the things that are going to hold you back to your old self and will never let you succeed and actually get past who you should be, because you never let it out. You never talk to somebody because that pride.
That's why I think it is big. Like, even like with Santi's last episode, it is big to understand, like, even with your past, if it's a bad past, whatever, or your emotions that are happening to you and stuff. Exactly. When you say have control of it, like try to control the bad things that happen in your past or try to control your emotions, I think, like, and only because we've like read through it a little bit, you know, at least enough, like a big piece is you're supposed to feel it. You're supposed to understand it happened and feel it and deal with it. But it's about after that point. It's not about, oh, this emotion doesn't exist. Push it to the back. No, you know what I mean? Or this, and that's hard to do, right? So you're trying to control your emotions, and you might be decompartmentalizing or compartmentalizing, right? Just all right, no, that's negative energy. Push it to the back. You know what I mean? And not really be like, all right, I gotta deal with this feeling I got. I gotta, you know, how does this make me feel? What do I do about it? Oh, this happened, you know? And that's the sad thing about like bad past. Most of the time it is compartmentalized. For
me, I've learned that kind of like how I've learned how to kind of apply it is don't forget but realize. It's kind of like what I tell myself is don't forget what you went through, but realize that's not who you are. And what you went through is not what's going on today. And that's an important thing, because I feel like a lot of people, they easily don't forget, but it's hard for them to realize that this is not now. This is not what you're going through now. This is not who you are. And, you know, it's tough because a lot of people, they get stuck in that hole and they're so focused on the past, even though that's not even who they are or anything like that. Like, bro, when I say this guy's in great shape, I mean, It's fucking ridiculous, bro.
Shit,
and I hear this person is like is affected by what these people said back in middle school, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's dwelling on them.
And it's crazy because like, and it also kind of shows that some people hold things harder than other people because me growing up, I got called fat a lot, and it never really affected me when other people said it like that. You know what I mean? Obviously, it was like you didn't want to hear that.
Yeah,
it's not like thanks, bro.
And eventually, it did hit you a different way.
Exactly. But like, I think what really affected me was more so like within myself when I was just like, I didn't like how I was looking myself. You know what I mean? And maybe that thought did come from people talking. Maybe, who knows? I'm not 100% sure, but it was just more so like when I think everybody has a point where when they look at themselves in the mirror, they're like, damn, this is bad. But I feel like everybody's point is differently. Maybe your point is whenever you start getting a little beer belly gut. Yeah. But for me, it was like when I started having boobs bigger than most girls, I was like, damn, bro, this is getting bad.
I think that's an important thing though, because like just a couple minutes ago, right? You mentioned, but I shouldn't be looking in the mirror telling myself all this shit, right? Mm-hmm. I'll argue the fact that you looked in the mirror and told yourself all that shit. That's huge. That's like the best thing.
100%.
Because some people will like anybody that's 300 pounds, right, and happy and they're not fucking 6'5" or something like that, right? Like you're 6 foot or under and you're 300 pounds. Those people don't look in the mirror.
No, sometimes no.
They go. No, I'm gonna hide my emotions. Or those that drink themselves to death, or those that just we all know somebody that's off the edge or something. Those are the people that can't look in the mirror. Don't look in the mirror, right? Yeah. So I almost argue like it isn't great that you're doing that, right? But that's your rock bottom before you go negative. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. I think there's two ways to react to it when you get to that point. 1,000%. I think the way I reacted was better of how it could have gone, but it was also not a healthy way to react either. No. Yeah. And like I remember there was times I was running the gym, my heart rate was at 230, and I was like, I'm gonna keep running. If my heart explodes here.
Fuck it, right?
I'm being so serious.
No, you are.
I'm running and my heart rate's at 230
because you gotta let go. You want, and I'm just there.
Like, I don't even care. My heart blows up right now. It fucking blows up like to the pain. It was painful, bro, going to that journey, especially in the beginning. It was so painful, and I was just like, I don't even give a shit, bro, because I'm not gonna be this person.
But you lost mad weight.
I lost it quick too.
And you are now too, to your point. But that is a good point because I do think some people are constantly in a healthy situation, constantly, and they would never turn around like that. That around. It might take years for them to turn it around like that. Which, if that's what it takes, that's fine. Yeah. But sometimes it is that. Like there's nothing perfect. You know what I mean? Like life's not perfect. Sometimes you gotta kick yourself in the ass. Sometimes you gotta be, you're like piece of shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's that tough love is what's needed. You know what I mean? So I say you're right. And actually like the way you're talking, I feel like is the perfect balance, right? Yeah. Where it's like you went through that tough love where it's like, you son of a bitch, you're looking in the mirror like you ain't nothing. But then afterwards you look back and you're like, okay, that was unhealthy. Yeah. I know how to get to a point where I need to. I think that's like the perfect
balance of it all.
That's you just explained it right there. If you ask me,
like I said though, like I didn't come to that point till later on. Like I said, I went. For people who don't know, I went from 267 down to 175 in less than 9 months. Yeah, it was like 8.5 months that I went through that.
You should have made a TikTok.
Viral. There you go. But I did that, and even when I was at 175, I was like, I'm still fat as shit.
Right, that's the problem though.
It was like I couldn't break out of that, and then I started like plateauing. I couldn't and then obviously I had
because not everybody's supposed to be skinny.
Like at that point,
like skinny.
I feel like the most important thing that everyone like never really neglects or never really utilizes to their ability is your support group or your actual like support. So either support group or support. And by support group, I don't mean fucking a whole group of people. I mean like you actually have a friend, a mom, a brother, a sister, somebody who is actually willing to listen to your legit issues without basically subjecting you to actual criticism or this, that, and the fourth. They can give you advice, they can give you opinions, but they're willing to listen to you, accept what you say, and take it in. And I feel like people that get those type of things are more able to understand themselves because when you're talking about your issues, when I'm actually
that helps a lot.
When I'm actually telling you my own problems, I'm listening to myself speak to you.
That's why people do therapy.
You get me? I'm listening to myself speak to you, and I hear myself. I'm like, yo,
That's why we do a podcast. No, I'm just playing.
Right?
So we can talk.
It's those other things that help people really like build themselves up and actually fix themselves. So, you know, like you getting your shit out there. Like
It's true, bro.
it really is.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like
Talk it out.
it's important to talk it out, but the thing is, if you're not aware of what you're going through, then how are you going to talk about it? Because like honestly, in that moment, I was thinking like, oh, this is just great.
Yeah.
I'm losing weight. Like,
And to be
Really?
honest, it really was.
That's what I was thinking. I
But
wasn't
you didn't
thinking
think,
like,
you didn't think when you were like when you were 175 and you were still thinking that way, you didn't think like, damn, why am I thinking this way?
no, I didn't.
You
You know
know, I
why?
would be-
Because I was thinking in my head, honestly, to be honest, I was like, I don't have six pack. I don't have a six pack. I'm not ripped. Six pack.
You're going for like a legit like.
Six
I
pack.
got you.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm not shredded. I'm not looking like
Like
a lot of
these
these
guys on the
a lot of these
online.
guys at the gym that I've been working out with, like not like with, but like people I see at the gym that have been working out, that started working out. I see transformations where people that were like a little chubby, like kind of like where I was at 175, and in that 8-month range, what they became, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm not there yet.
That's me.
Bro, I
I'm
think
fat as fuck.
I'm a thorough believer. Like, I think some people you could tell it's for the sport, and sometimes you could tell that they got the free time for it, where
Yeah.
they can do it for the sport, and you could tell they enjoy it and they're healthy with it. But then there are some people, like, I will be curious to know, right? Like, they say like NFL players even, like the CTE is what makes them kill people. Sometimes to be an NFL player, you gotta be willing to kill somebody. Like you gotta be a little fucking crazy, right? And it's a blessing and a curse, right? It's not
Yeah.
just pure athleticism. Like most basketball players is pure athleticism. But like
100%.
a lot of the football players to do what they do, like sometimes you gotta be crazy. I would like somebody like Mike Lockley, right? You wonder if that dude's battling a little bit of demons. He's helping the world.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect example of if he is the way he is, because he's constantly battling demons, and this is how he stays afloat.
Well-
He is helping the world with it.
I think at the point where like he is nowadays, I feel like he's already past battling his demons. But I feel
Yeah.
like obviously there were probably demons.
That's just energy,
Yeah,
bro.
there-
You know what I mean?
it's
Like,
yeah.
there's a possibility that he had already battled his demons, and he's at a point where he's already overcome his demons.
Yeah.
And he's at a point where he understands, and like so that I feel like it's more
Yeah.
so there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think everybody, no matter who you are, no matter what you go through, you're gonna have demons to fight.
Always.
Always. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. That's
And,
important.
But you
Yeah.
got to be smart. You got to not be smart minded, but you be strong willed.
Yeah.
To get through your demons and not let it affect your everyday life, because you're gonna get them every day. I feel like it's not every day, but it's not gonna be every once in a blue moon. They're gonna get it every like once a week, almost twice a week, and you got to be willing to be able to battle that and get through your day and be who you are still without letting that affect you.
Quick switch up, because we're hitting over an hour. I like it, but I want to be able to talk about this too. Judging somebody from their past. I just want to ask a couple of questions. So judging somebody from their past. I just want you guys to answer 2 questions. How long at this point in your life? How long do you kind of look back until you could judge somebody from their past? Like, what's the statute of limitations for judging somebody for their past for you personally?
Yeah.
And then B, has that changed as you've gotten older? And I bet it will obviously change for us as we get even older.
I put an asterisk on what I'm gonna say because I say about 3 years, but I put an asterisk because
Go ahead, bro.
I put an asterisk because I feel like any massive life occurrence can change it. Sometimes people face death. Sometimes people face life situations, and I really think that coming out of that can make a big difference of you. So I say 3 years is like kind of like where I would say for hard flip change, completely change. If you have 3 years of consistency, I feel like you have done a good job of changing. But like I said, there's an asterisk on that.
So like after 3 years, if they stay like I could trust that you're in the process of changing.
But I also believe that anybody can
Change.
relapse.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I think that's always a possibility too.
And certain things are unforgivable.
Yeah, exactly. And I think certain people can relapse. I think that's obviously something that happens. Just like because honestly, your past is like an addiction almost. You know what I mean? You can look at it from the same perspective, like an AA almost, or like a drug addict almost.
Depending on what your past is.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because I got a quick question too. Go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah,
what do you
no,
think?
I mean, I would see it as almost like Similar, but not similar. Like I would give it a 1 year mark, and only reason I would give it a 1 year mark is because of my family and my past. I know how easy it is to create a past, but I also know how easy it is to fix your past and be somebody different. It could be within a split second, but it has to be genuine, and that's why I'm gonna have to notice through your personality whether or not it's genuine. If it's genuine, I'll take it.
If it feels genuine,
yeah, 100%.
But
yeah, because
my step pops. You remember how my step pop was,
right?
Yeah.
And his change was in less than a year, and it was 1000%. Bro, listen,
because it's all personal.
It's all personal.
Listen to this.
It's all personality.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys a little quick story. So if you guys don't know my stepfather, how he used to be, he was a very unique individual. He would never show affection.
Yeah.
I think up until like when I was 18, roughly, I can probably recall maybe once he told me he was proud of me. I can recall maybe once he gave me a hug. And that's about it. There was no type of affection, no good job, nothing like that. It was never like that. It was mainly shit talk. It was negative things that he would say all the time.
Friends come in, hey fucker.
Yeah, exactly. And even though a lot of times it was partially because he would joke around and stuff like that, but there was also a bit of anger and hatred behind it.
Yeah.
So much though that maybe even when he was joking around, it was hard to tell he was joking.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes there were times that I maybe thought he was joking around, he really wasn't.
Right.
Vice versa. For real. No, I'll be so serious. Like seriously, like he would say things, and I'm just like, damn, bro. Like that had to be some truth in that. Anyways, so yeah, so yeah. Anyways, so
it's like I'm about to go fuck your mom. It's like that's funny, but I feel like you're telling the truth.
But anyways, so the story I was coming to was that he had a car, he had an Acura Integra that he really liked, and he was actually kind of like in the peak moment of his revelational change.
Yeah.
Where he was kind of becoming like a new person. And my mom went out of town. Everybody went out of town. It was just me. I was home. My stepfather was working, and he's a truck driver, so he was gone overnight. He was to come back the next day. My truck was out of gas. This is when I was like a teenager. My truck was out of gas, like really, really low, and I had to go drive to pick up my paycheck. So I took their car to go get my paycheck. On my way back home, I crashed and totaled that car. And the next day, my stepfather was coming home, and I was like, "Okay, this is gonna turn into a fist fight. Like we're gonna hand on, be throwing hands. Like this is gonna be really, really bad." And he came home. He looked at me, and like he had like this super it was weird, man. Like the energy was so weird. I could still feel it in this moment. The energy was so weird. I remember I was sitting down at I heard him pull up. And I literally walked up to the dining room table because I'm like, let's just get this over with. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I'm here, fucker.
Yeah.
Kill me.
Let's do it.
Like, seriously, I'm ready for it. Like, my mom's out of town. Like,
you about to get it.
Yeah, I was like, my mom's out of town.
Oh, that's the word.
All right, let's get it, bro. Like, I really was expecting us to, like, full on throw fight. So I went to the dining room table, and he walks in. He looks at me and goes, like, with the most straightest face ever. And, like, you could tell he was angry. He takes a deep breath and goes, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Come here." I'm like, "Oh, this is it." And he comes. I stood up and he's like, "Come here." I walked up to him. He gave me a hug, bro.
Ooh.
He goes, "I love you." He goes, "Car is replaceable." He goes, I'm glad that you're safe. He goes, "The car can be replaced." He was like, "We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it." He turned around and walked away and took a shower. I literally sat there and I was like, what the fuck just happened?
You must have felt like the love that like
you should always.
I was scared,
but
I was scared.
That must have felt good though, a little bit, right?
A little bit, but I was scared.
Like that's like a I care. He does care moment, you know?
Yeah, it was definitely like heartfelt, but it was also kind of the moment I was sitting here and I'm like, okay, this motherfucker's gonna kill me when I'm sleeping.
Yeah,
like the way that he was. I mean, this guy used to throw.
You still didn't trust it.
He gonna stab me for sure. I know this shit.
This guy has thrown scorpions in my bed while I'm sleeping. Like he's done crazy shit to me. Like so, I'm like, this guy's gonna kill me when I'm sleeping. I was thinking, but no, seriously, like he didn't even make me pay for the car. He was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll take a loss on the car."
Yeah.
Like it was crazy, bro. And like and like I hadn't noticed that. I had noticed a big change in him. But like in that moment was such a test to who he was. And when that happened, I was like, damn, bro, this guy fucking changed. This guy's changed. Like, this is not the guy.
That's a good thing. So like a good way to test genuine, if it's genuine or not. Go ahead, you gotta go, bro. Yeah, go ahead. A good way to test if it's
got a piss.
A good way to test if it's genuine or not is if it's a testing moment, right? Like yo, you told me. That's it. It's gone. It's gone. This is the end of the video, anyway. Like yo, you told me you're gonna stop drinking, but let's see when there's a lot of people drinking.
Yeah.
Around you, right? Or yo, that's where you tested the genuineness of it, and you were like, it could have been a week ago. Mm-hmm. He could have been mad as fuck at you, like same person, and maybe it was. Yeah. And then that moment, you were like, all right, you know what? Whoa, this guy is not. This is a little bit different.
Yes, different scenario for sure.
All right, that's good. That's dope. I just want to say too, because I feel like over time and with like you realize, especially like with our age and stuff like that, like the past is so, like as I'm getting older, you realize the past don't mean shit.
No, I don't.
You know what I mean? Like somebody that went through more stuff, I'm almost more intrigued in, more interested in. Like, bro. I remember, like, even with, like, I've been with my girl since high school. I remember when, you had 2 boyfriends before me used to bother me. It's like, have fun finding somebody these days. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
the past.
Facts. But thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for listening to us. We do appreciate the continuous support. And thank you guys for staying tuned as Jacob destroyed our entire studio.
I'm so sorry. I really had to go. Minutes. It was hurtful.
This is what we covered up, guys. Stay to the end and you might find out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to leave it because most people don't. The rest of it fell over.
These bloopers are great, though.
Go to the YouTube and find that
entertainment.
time.
The bloopers make the entertainment.
Exactly.
All right?
But, so Pocket Watch out.
Out.